Really?
Wait a second.
Just 1 second. Yes. Oh.
The mind tries again to find awareness.
Yeah. And that activity is noticed. That activity is appearing in awareness.
I think I have to pick up the earphone.
No problem.
I prepared.
Now, coming back to that, just that simple question. Who are you? Just now, fresh in this moment. The bodying is happening, it's doing its thing. Thinking comes and goes. Different sensations, feelings, perceptions appear and disappear. There's, whatever this is, that everything is appearing in. It's here. But you can't touch it. You can't say what it is. It's nothing. It's not. Yeah. All the little movements and all that stuff can be noticed. Yeah.
The mind is so quick to take it serious, to make a thing about it.
When you say the mind, really, it's a thought.
It's a thought.
Yeah. So just so that we're clear,
Also,
we talk about a mind, but really, all of the mind is thought. No thought, no mind. Yeah. So a thought comes. Am I doing it right? Is this really awareness? How do I bring my attention to it? Some thought comes. It's just like, okay. And there's awareness of it. Already. There's such a habit to effort to do, but to be, just to be, not so used. So we rest, and when thinking starts to get a little quieter, then there's some sense of flow or love or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you sense it or feel it, but
there's no name for this. It could be quietness, or but it's so. Couldn't be grabbed from anything.
can't be grabbed on anything. And so thinking is not the right media or tool for recognizing it, because thinking is too coarse. It's not the right tool. In most of us, one of the very fine movements can be called doubt. Can this really be it? The fact that you are, there's no doubt. But the doubt is just this being enough? Is this being, what we've heard about love, peace, and all that stuff? It's just like, but that's still an activity of thinking, because some wanting to, but its essence is doubt.
Mm.
And just to recognize doubt for what it is. It's, doubt.
But I can't see that it's doubt. It's a longing to.
No, because it shows up as like, I can't find awareness. What is awareness?
Mm.
That's doubt. Just to recognize it for what it is. And it's okay. Doubt comes.
And this is maybe the I that make. I want to find it. I want to find a way there. I want to find a way to live it alone in daily life.
Yeah. All of that. Some measuring.
Mm. And then it's gone.
And then it's not gone. It looks like it's gone. Exactly. And then, if we explore the function of doubt, to me, that was useful at some point, was just to look at, okay, so doubt is coming. It's trying to help me in some way so that I don't miss the mark, But does it actually help? No. And it promises, yes, if you doubt, it's going to help you, be certain. But doubt can never, doubt doesn't know. It's always trying to know. And people can be stuck in doubt for years. How come things still come up, or somehow that means something. That means that awareness isn't aware. It's like, it's just, but then again, it's thinking. It's just, it all belongs to this, what I call doubt.
It's look like I understand what to say, and it look like there's an here goes in another direction, not in another direction. Here is more seeing that all is happening in, and not to seeing that this I don't like and that I don't like, and there is something that sees this, and yes, and then there on this point come the I want to do this.
I want to finish this liking and disliking and all
yes.
this.
And in this, when I understand you right, is thought.
Yes,
and this thought now from this thing I only can hear, but I can't see it by myself. Maybe it will be seen in a few
so liking
minutes.
Liking, disliking. Okay. How real are they? How real are they? You know, a story
daily
from 1 week.
life, it looks extremely real, but it isn't.
But yet it isn't. I mean, there was one time a woman came to a meeting and she heard a sound, and for her it annoyed her terribly. She thought somebody was recording or doing something. She didn't know, but she was terribly annoyed. And how can someone be making that noise? And for about 20 minutes, she was busy with this and annoyed. And then all of a sudden, she realized it was crickets. There was a cricket in the room. And she loves crickets. And then the sound didn't bother her any. You know, how real is this liking and disliking? You know, one moment we can be fighting with a partner, and then some moments later laughing, you know, or somehow, or it seems serious for years or whatever, you know. It's just like, but so much has to do with, you know, it's like, if the interest is just keeping quiet, nothing can stay. You know, it's like, so activation happens, or triggering happens, and then there's just no interest. It's like, okay, it's old information, doesn't mean anything about anyone or anything. Then it doesn't get any energy, it doesn't get fed. So there's a natural, in my view, a natural process that happens of just resting, and whatever's remaining of old information, old vasanas, starts to show itself, and when it doesn't get fed, and to me it seems like those, what we call, they're not personal, they belong to the field, they belong to, and in the sense, that's the value of meeting and spending time together and just seeing. Because you've seen how often somebody comes with something, and I ask how many people know this, and it's everybody, and that then how many people got value, it's everybody. We see it's not personal. And my sense is that as the energy that's been tied up in those movements starts to fall away, you know, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. Until, you know, I think for most of us, to speak way clumsily, we'll be busy with this just being till the last breath, you know. And to me, it seems really everything that unravels or comes to peace in any of us is of benefit to all beings everywhere.
Yes.
It's not personal, and it's not, somehow this great intelligence has picked up these expressions of itself for that. Where it gets tricky is when we think I'm needing to do this for my enlightenment. Then it's already we're in the trap. Mm. If we look, the personality that life expresses through, that we call my personality, what does it have to do with you? Honestly, we find ourselves with some kind of a personality, some organization, you could say, some habits.
It can't do anything with me because exactly. There is no me.
Yeah, there is no me. Yeah, exactly. So they're just old habits, structures, whatever. I mean, it's so interesting, you watch a video of like Nisargadatta and you see how his personality was very abrupt and fiery, and Papaji was very different, Ramana completely different. There's no right way or wrong way, it's just like there's no enlightened look.
Yes. And for me, even this what we are doing here, I appreciate it very. And yet I know it's only one way. It's not the best. It's not wrong. It's not right. It is.
And it's not even a way. It is simply, we're not trying to get anywhere. That's the whole thing. It's like, I mean, I can say that many times and just see, we're here. This is it. This is what we have, this moment.
Yeah.
Whatever breathing is happening by itself, the bodying is happening by itself, the thoughts that come by themselves. But we say, my thoughts, my activation. I mean, it's funny, but it's really, if you look, none of that is true. So to rest, with no goal, no agenda, nowhere to go, no one to go. It's in some ways it's so opposite to what we've been conditioned to, yeah. It's like you're a dead, but you're dead, you're just moving in the wind, so to speak. And then you recognize, wow, it's always been like that, actually. There was just all this idea that contracting and envisioning and trying to get somewhere seemed like it had something to do with it, but really, a joke. And then doubt will come up and speak. Well, how will I pay my bills? How will life happen? it's never been up to you whether you could pay your bills or not. It's a whole, it's like, anyway, you're,
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, if you can be on that gallery view, but we can just check and see if anybody got any value from that. Maybe. Yeah. Cool. Oh, Martin.
Hi, Isaac.
Hey, Martin.
I have a quite, or the system has quite a hard time the last weeks. And there's a question around it. So there's a deep longing for feeling the peace. And I know this to feel the peace. And when the system is so disrupted or whatever, coming habitually feelings or thoughts of whatever, self-hate, I'm not enough, or the things I did in my life is not enough, something like that. So it seems to be very difficult to be in the peace. I know it's important. I can put my attention away of it, because I know I'm not that. But still, there's a thought. In a way, I have to see this and feel it, kind of to give it the chance to integrate it. So by seeing it, it's a possibility of integration. And when I always put my attention away, it's still staying there, the shades of the system.
That's an idea.
Mm-hmm. You think it's not that way?
There's an idea that you could do something. Can be present to what's going on, to allow it to integrate.
Well, it's not the idea of an entity that can do something. It's the idea that there are coming things to give the possibility of integration, something like that. Yeah.
Yes. So now, let's use a stupid example. Somebody comes to you and they say to you, you know, Martin, you're not a good person. And you go, okay. And nothing goes to argue, nothing goes to defend. It's just, okay, sounds came. Maybe there was some belief about it. But what does that matter anyway? And so these sounds come and they just drop into silence. Now, maybe it touches something and something in your system responds. Why would we give that any more attention than somebody speaking something?
Sometimes I have the feeling it's like riding a knife, this thing with acceptance. So once you told me everything that is, something, I tell it in my words, everything it is accepted already. So
this is deeper than acceptance, Martin. You know, it's like, what is real? Let's just start with that simple question.
Yeah, real is only the thing that stays, that always was here and will be here.
Exactly. So the thought comes, doesn't matter what the thought or a feeling, it's not real. So the idea of integrating it in a way makes it seem real, makes it seem like it has something. So we can talk about integration. Like there's this movie playing. You take away the screen, nobody can see anything. There's just the camera, this movie, and it's disappearing into nothing, yeah? You bring the screen back, and there's actors that acted some time ago, good guys, bad guys, love stories, lots of emotion, fun.
Sometimes it's no fun. It's not always fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, we know it's not real.
Well, I think one problem I have is there's a screen I am, and all the things happening in life, when you look closely, are not real.
Mhm.
It's actually everything, every thought, every feeling, every what I hear, listen, experience is not real, actually.
Not real. And also you go to deep sleep and there's nothing.
So it's for years, it's actually almost the same problem to try to stay in this true nature and then live the life. And
So let's slow that down. What is it that's trying to stay?
probably still a felt entity.
Yeah. And is that entity real?
No.
No. And to rest without anything to do. How is it in this moment? Just here. You can see there's still some kind of mental activities trying to integrate the words and all that stuff. But there's something deeper than that that knows exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
And that little bit of activity doesn't trouble in the sense. It's just, okay, it's trying to, okay, yeah. There's a knowing, and then there's this, I would say, some remnant of me or some sense of me that wants to get it and wants to hold, wants to claim it or something, you know. But all of that actually is just it's activities. It's has nothing to do with who you are.
There's a little bit sadness by seeing some activities that repeated 10,000s of times in life. They're very, very strong and screaming really loud, and
Yeah.
it's not easy not to follow them.
Yeah. And so, you know, following will happen at some moment, and then there'll be a seeing. No, this is not real. Every moment of just recognizing it's not real, there's just a big relief. There's just, okay. So in the sense, and it's falling in love with that recognition. Don't have to do anything. But this is home. Really, it's not another path. It's not another getting somewhere. It's just seeing who you've always been. Not measurable by behavior, by thought, by quietness or lack of quietness. The ocean is the ocean, whether there's waves or whether it's absolutely quiet. It's the ocean.
Slow down, is it?
Thanks, Mark. Good to see you again. Wow, funny.
Hello, Isaac.
Hey, Anya.
That was so good for me now to hear this all. Relaxes the system and that feeling of that everything happens by itself. And it's like you say, the ocean or the waves, it's still the ocean. And to feel this really deeply is that life is always life. I mean, everything is life. That's like, it's stronger to feel that. It's very important because to feel that in silence, some ripples appear or something, that is often for me easier than to actually be in a really strong life flow feeling and then having the feeling that that it's more different to rest. I can't explain it actually, but it's more like, for example, I just came back from Corfu. Just 2 days ago I came back, and there to wake up, like it's almost like so naturally really happening that I end up at the beach. I end up, someone comes by. It's so clear that it all happens totally by its own accord, by itself. It's just by opening the eyes. It's like the movements are happening and there's a flow. And then it's like now coming back, being in this thing of sort of alone feeling, which is good. It's okay. It's no judgment about it. But the scenery is different. So only the scenery changed. Instead of that kind of feeling in Corfu, there is now things again coming. And they have like this demanding, this has to be done, this has to be done. And at the same time, there is also something this morning, I felt it also yesterday. It's almost as if the system has a life hunger. I'm so hungry for life. And in Corfu, it was like there was no hunger for life because the life was in its richness all the time, sort of like washing through me like the waves, the ocean. And here it's like the last few sunny days out there I don't want to miss the sun. And so it's like, you know, not wanting to go back into just doing things, but just wanting to keep on in that flow, sort of going to the lake, seeing people. But there's a life hunger, but it makes me restless when I wake up. The system in because I just don't want to do these things. I'm kind of want to escape into the wonderful flow that's also out there. Life's waiting for me. I have this fire. It's a fire, you know. It's like life is waiting for me every moment. So I can't actually manage all these stupid little things. There's no, and so my system goes into this kind of it's like actually it feels like the life energy gets blocked. There is in this life energy, and I've had that all my life a bit because I'm kind of fiery for my energy. There's a lot of fire there, and all the time it was like, but I can't. I first have to do everything else before my real life flow is happening. And so it feels like the whole system, also illnesses that I have or disturbances in the system, it's mostly because it's something blocked. This fiery energy gets suppressed. I mean, just to put it into words, that's how it feels right now. And what happened with Martin now, I could just see it's not like voices from outside that are saying something. It's always inner thoughts that say, oh my God, you're all, something feels so suppressed. And then I'm beating myself up for it.
But to me, you know, I just call all those automatic unconscious habits or movements.
Yeah.
You know, you take someone like Raman's life, yeah? Renouncing everything. Loincloth. That's it. And yet then he goes to cook some things, and some people aren't cooking the way he likes them to cook or whatever, you know, like just the most simple, or you know, like politicians are coming to see him, and the management wants you know, it's just like the most simple life that you can imagine. I mean, I don't know how it was when he was just sitting under a tree. You know, I guess he wasn't moving much.
Yeah. And to me, right now, it is so clear that I'm exactly like Ramana, sitting under a tree, even if just now disappointment, just now the washing machines, just now that and that. It's like in the midst of whatever, that's like back now because of the talk we had with Martin now. It comes
so that's the thing. It has nothing to do with anything, you know, that's no outward circumstance. It's just like, you know, there can be quietness in the midst of anything, and there can be noisiness sitting in a cave in the Himalayas. It's just like,
and it's only happened. That's why I was a bit scared to travel or what, because then there's the scenery changes. The scenery, it's only a scenery. It's just like this. Yeah, it's almost like on a stage where you put different requisitions then or something. It's just the scenery that changes. But what it does to the system seems to be like a whole different, it's almost like I'm in a tumble dryer or something, just from one scenery to moving from one scenery to the other. The system goes like that. And then it feels like the eyes has to do something again, or you know, but it's I can see it so clearly now that I feel really it's funny to see what happened in the last 24 hours looking from here, how it felt to be in this environment. And now it's like it doesn't matter where I'm sitting. There is only movements that are done if you know, it happens by itself. And Yeah, and it's like swimming, really. You can just like when the waves get too high, you just dive under, or you jump over, or you go washed away a bit. But what remains is always the same.
Hmm.
Just wanted to share this because it feels so beautiful to not have a I'm this or I'm there and there's a difference. But that's such a release because it's never, nothing, you know, just little changes of scenery. I don't really care. Something knows that that the scenery changes all the time. Anyway. And even the feeling of having to do something and not having to do something, that also comes and goes. It's not really necessary to go so much into a judgment about it even. Yeah. So you're going into summer now again with the weather.
Yeah.
Great. I have a preference, I have to say. I always have a preference for summer. Doesn't matter. The scenery is in a way more comfortable for my system.
Yeah, it's so funny. Even preferences.
Yeah.
You know, there's that. I forget who said that. Maybe Miller Rape or someone. It's, you know, like just being, and one little preference is the difference between heaven and hell. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's like, but then to have a preference for no preferences, it's like, so a preference comes. So yeah.
Yeah. That's from when I'm like, I can see it so clearly that this preference is actually sweet. I understand it. It's totally understandable that that it's a preference to have something which is warm and light towards which is dark and cold, or, you know, it's like a natural thing. And it can happen, and anyway, it's not like like a
I was driving today, and there was an accident on the highway, and so, you know, like for maybe half an hour, there was moving less than half a kilometer. You know, okay, and I could just watch it. It's like it's okay. You know, something could get irritable. Okay, now I'm stuck in traffic, or so oh, yeah, it is just. So amazing, and seeing, wow, the energy, you know, it's so usual to get upset about being stuck in traffic, for example, and just to see it's so irrelevant. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to not happen, but it's just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's also life. Life reacts on getting stuck in the traffic, and then
On some idea, I'm stuck in traffic. It's just like, okay, you know, someone had an accident, and you know, it's like now all these thousands of people are crawling, you know, for
yeah.
long.
Yeah, and it's so wonderful to just be like, yes, that's what happening. Yes, that's what happening. It's like, and if it's not a yes, then okay, they know it's happening. You know, it's yeah, that is actually the gift to just.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one way of saying is, what's more important than peace?
Yeah.
Yes, what's more important? Moment by moment by moment by moment by moment, just resting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, what a relief also for the so-called system. It immediately has an effect.
Yeah.
It's also like loving it again. I mean, there's something like when discomfort comes up, it's also that it's not loved anymore. But if this comfort can still be loved, you know, it's like,
I mean, you know, it's like seeing it's a thought and a feeling combination, and
sweet,
so yeah,
sweet innocent thought, bringing up a sweet innocent reaction,
feeling, yeah.
and It means nothing, and it's ultimately held with nobody holding it. It's kind of really, yeah. So, yeah. It's so beautiful to be anyway together in this. I mean, yeah. That's at the end of an outside and inside. It's already in. Because there is no out. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I think someone's having a hand, Prem Prakash.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. Prem, if you wave your hand, it's easier for me to see than yeah, cool. Just for, just like this is easier to see than the static yellow thing, because
All
so
right.
anyway, yeah.
It's
And
good.
you're welcome to do it anyway, it doesn't matter, but then someone will have to tell me.
Okay. I will do that next time. It's good to
Yeah, hey.
hello, lovely. Actually, it's another question. I understand that we speaking like with ego all the time. It's no question. It's accept to unknowing actually,
Yeah,
and I understand
absolutely.
that it's easier to quit the mind if you don't want to know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, actually, a few years ago, I have a like situation that my mind creates a person who was in possession, yeah, like demonic stuff. And yesterday, one of my friend just said that, or maybe we can watch the movie. I said, like for everything, light should say yes. So yeah, come on, let's watch it. And she just play about exorcism and demonic, and I saw that when I like all day trying to be like camera, like I'm sitting in cinema and watching the screen, nothing to do, yeah, and just I observed that my body I really react about like it was in the fear of that what she is in this movie about a lot memories of that moment few years ago. And what is my question is about is because we can't be hurt, you know. uh, the lights never have to be scared about darkness, and is any way to be if you experiencing in this life like a body, is anything what I have to be, like careful if I'm light with open heart, is anything what I have to, like hug people or something else, that if I'm the light, if I'm for everything say yes, is anything what, that can touch me? Because
Okay, so let's play.
yeah,
Here we are. Okay. Tell me where the boundary is to you.
there's no boundaries.
There's no boundary. Okay. So everything is appearing in you already.
Yeah,
There's nothing, all experience is appearing in who you are.
yeah,
So then This idea that something can touch me, that has to project that something's outside.
Yeah.
But even that projection is happening in who we are. Yeah?
It's still projection.
It's projection. So we hear, then different experience happens, whatever. Some can be a little chemical gets out of balance in the body, and our experience gets disturbed.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? But like, so then there's this idea that of possession or something. But what is it actually? There's just an uncomfortable experience. That's all.
Yeah.
And then the projection on it. That's it.
Yeah.
And that it means something about me.
I actually did was like checking because yesterday when I watched this movie, I know that it's another gift from the God that showed me it's nothing to fear. It's just
There's nothing there. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is a thought.
yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
So we hear this, it's so strange in a way, we hear and we're watching this crazy movie play.
Yeah.
Israel and Gaza and Russia and Ukraine and endless. We can look at it, and these days we're aware of all this stuff. It's maybe not in our immediate environment, but through television and internet now we know about this. We can see pictures, and we know of everything that's going on, all the craziness, you could say, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I'm still practicing. I'm still in silence and just watching. And
Exactly. And so like this is it. It's like we see this happening, all this stuff going on. And something, you could say, somehow our attention can touch something in us. Oh, this is wrong, this is bad, this is evil, something, some thought. Or you just see, okay, well, somehow it's, in a way, it's like a lion chasing a deer and eating it. It's like it's life doing its funny thing, It's like people are dying, people are being born. I'm not talking about being callous. I'm just saying this is just, in a way, one sense of what's going on. And, it's like, to me, I don't see that there's any value in suffering, in somehow having an idea that it should be different. I know that just resting as, I could call it, peace itself, as love itself. If there's anything that is the most beautiful, yeah.
yeah.
So, you know, there's a story from Buddha's life when he was sitting still and all the old thought forms and everything was coming in his consciousness. You know, and if you read almost everybody that's gotten very quiet, they have what they call the dark night of the soul, where everything that's been suppressed or repressed starts to show up. And at some point in Buddha's story, he put his hand on the ground and he said, I'm not moving. I'm not running away from you anymore. I'm not feeding you. In other words, I'm not. He just like that. And then that all got quiet. So
Yeah, I know that story is beautiful. That's
yeah.
that only not understand, but just feel that it's not you. So
It's not you, and it's just like, you know, it's that which you are is untouched by memories, by pictures, by thoughts, by feelings. And that's not abstract. It's a direct recognition, you know. It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
Isn't it really beautiful to look at you and feel myself?
Came in my mind, there was a time when I was in the middle of a divorce and I couldn't see my children, and I built a beautiful center that I poured my love into, and it was getting lost, and the home I'd built was getting lost. Everything was just being taken away. And I had a friend who I would just call him in those days, we didn't have video and stuff like that. We would just sit on the phone, and he would just sit quietly with me, and my system would calm down, and everything was fine. No advice, no teaching, nothing, just sitting quietly together. So, thank you. Yeah, like that. Yes, true.
Hi, Isaac.
Michael.
I want to explore something with you.
Okay.
The funny phenomenon of getting older. So sometimes I'm in the mood of future and past and the present moment. And it was funny. So I speak 2 or 3 sentences, and then perhaps you can go into silence. This is the end. But there is an urge to, as I see you in the last years getting older, I find some differences and changes in the way I see something. And I'm having the retreat from the summer when I was sitting in the front, and it was for me the first that in the first second, my heart is so much beating like an explosion, like an atomic bomb. And I said to myself, this is not fear, this is absolutely life force. And it needs 2 minutes. And then I look into the Sangha, and I'm getting so afraid that I really constantly have the feeling I'm not safe. And I could stand with this, not to put something on it that I don't feel it. And a picture runs through me of all the resistance, of all patterns to avoid it. And it was like a picture of life, of being years and years and years in the surviving mode. And so I spent a couple of days just, I'm safe, I'm here. And it was so relaxing, and and it goes now for 2 or 3 months to get it more and more clear how much effort the system, my system, is running after to getting safeness.
Mhm.
And more identification gets less. And now like a wave to, I don't put a name on it, but I have the feeling it's a new way of sobriety to look. And this is the question to you. And I say, yes, this how it was. I was always struggling and to get 50 years of getting the pendulation of getting something like a balance. And it getting easier after I have an idea that there is a big consciousness that I don't have to pendulate, but sitting still. And I find in my heart there's a lot of sadness, and in the sadness there is so much love coming more and more up in the present moment.
Mm.
And I don't know if this is a an essence of I don't know, so relax more in it and be kind to see life. So what a funny thing and a strong thing is identification is. Makes so trouble. And sometimes I can't avoid it. It's so strong. And is it only just a question to you from your experience? Is it just, yeah, of course, is it a dream when something like a mind thing came of looking into that happened? So it's a question to it's I just looking deeper. What is it? It's just a mind thing that appear, or did this happen, or is it nothing else but a contraction, contraction that it opens more into a space?
Yeah. You know, I think in our ancestry, there's been, and even now, today, you're just watching what's going on in the world with like everywhere. It's just like the craziness of I would say mind. Yeah. And then but in some ways it's like, okay, well, what is dying? What is, I mean, you know, because okay, so getting older, you know, sure, things, the body changes, the interests change, the capacities change. And some of us, you know, we start going down the road where our thinking stops working properly, can't remember things, can't function properly. others. I mean, there's so many things where the body just stops functioning.
This is not the thing of that bothers me so much. It's like the thing of having an idea that my life is from 64, 50 years of pendulation and frozenness or of flight and fight mode.
Yeah. Some old information. Yeah, there's some old survival information. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, who knows where that comes from?
Yes.
We don't know. So we're here now. And whatever information is in the nervous system, okay, it is there.
So the identification of the masses of what is it, of events that put my nerve system out of the corner, it gets less, but there have been the last 2 weeks big waves to say yes to it all, and there is so much releasing of the heart again in the process of getting older and not being a therapist, but having time, really much time to focus on what is called myself, or to just to listen. And this, I felt, is such a wave is coming. And it's so wonderful to get a deeper consciousness of the stability of the Sangha, of the peace, of the really deep peace. And this is, I suck it at the moment. So,
and then yes, and of course, whatever old information then comes to the surface, welcome. So not having to fix it, not having to change it, no agenda, just.
And is it for you that it getting over the years less and less and less and less, and there is more and more and more empty space?
It's just how it seems is that it doesn't much matter what's happening, because nothing seems more important than just being quiet. So an idea happens, like I was supposed to be flying down to Sydney on Tuesday to give up my US citizenship. I wanted to do that, and it's not going easily. So I'm not sure, like I told everyone last meeting that there's no meeting on Tuesday, and I'm not sure now if I'm flying to Sydney. I just don't know. And I see like maybe in the past something in me would have been freaked out by it. And it's just like, okay, I have no idea what it's good for. I don't know why it's playing like this. I know I'm doing what's possible from my side for it to happen smoothly, and then I just see, okay, it's going like it's going. So and if I look at it, through memory of how at one point my system would, when things didn't go how I thought it should go. Something like today, sitting in the traffic, just sitting there going, okay, now I'm here. It's like, so there's traffic. And so, it's like, okay. So I don't know why it's like, I could say, I can compare and say somehow getting easier. I'd say it's not even getting easier. It just is easy. It's like nothing, not much is engaging, and who knows what the next moment brings? I have no idea. You know, it's like. I don't know what to measure it by, or.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Ah, like silence speak, but not in words. And speaking is also not the right word. No. Big hug.
Hi.
Hey, Hans.
I'm getting aware today about this constant resistance and constant movement, which is constantly playing. And there are a lot of interpretations going with it. But somehow, yeah, the more awareness is going with this dynamic, it loses its power a little bit. Because it was constantly a kind of movement to stop this whole dynamic of resistance and movement, but it happened by itself as well. And it gives me a kind of permittance that I don't have to save the world anymore, the family dynamics or my clients. It's that I want to leave the whole scenery. It's a kind of happening inside me now, so yeah. We can only automatically bring love or attention, I think, to a situation.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's like, that kind of knowing that what's going to happen is going to happen, and what's not going to happen is not going to happen, and nothing is worth contracting around or making it more important than peace.
Very supple interplay. Also, kind of the knowing that this whole organization is a part of it as well, of course.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter at all. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have to overthink something or to
Doesn't help for sure. It doesn't help. Yeah.
It's a relief. Thank you.
Yeah, so while I'm thinking about it, just this coming Tuesday, there won't be a meeting because I'm either flying to Sydney or I'm not. But I don't want to make it complex. And it's there's no meeting this Tuesday, and we'll see. So the next meeting off will be where are we? Friday, Sunday. The next meeting Sunday, and then after that Friday. Bettina. Really, Bas, thank you for hosting. Thanks, beloveds. Love, peace, beauty.